reaction video to Alpha 3.23. To be fair, I have seen this, but I thought I'd do a reaction video for the peeps. Some good stuff on here, really good shit. So let's get with it, shall we? Let's go. Where's my vid? Hold on. There you go. Right. Some good stuff, actually.
Just threatening Pete by, I was going to start with a good morning, Star Citizen. He was just waving me off. Hi, everybody. We're back. Welcome to Star Citizen Live. I'm your host, Jared.
I like to he's like, what's my name again?
We just talked about
Jared.
that. We just talked about that. And if you've never seen Star Citizen Live before, it's where we take about an hour out of the end of our week and we chat with a few of the...
Alright, spoiler alert, this is really good information. If you haven't seen the original video, and you just randomly found my video, go watch the original. Because clearly I'm going to be stopping, but whatever. It's some good stuff. A gem, I think there's a gem in here. I'm not too sure if I'm allowed, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm guessing I might be right. Something that people have slept on for a while, but I think,
developers who make Star Citizen and Squadron 42 possible. On this week's show, we are changing things up a bit. Generally speaking, towards the release of any given patch, we have what we call this all about alpha, whatever it is, show. We usually bring our Star Citizen live game director, Todd Pappy, on the show, and he answers your questions about all the things you've seen in ISC throughout the season building up to this, the things that you're you're experiencing through Evocati and through PTU, and it's all a big fun thing where you guys get to ask questions and we pose right to the people, put them on the hot seat. We're not doing any of that today. We are changing the formula. We are at the beginning of this journey to Alpha 323. Yeah. We've all come back from our holidays. Be
warned, this is on like for an hour, so this might be a bit of a long reaction video.
Done the typical regroup and engineering planning for.
I think I'll skip the economy bit because it is a bit like not much there, really, to be honest with you. So I might just skip that bit.
The next patch, we're also do.
Like I say, I'm only really gonna cover the shit that's interesting to me, really, and that's the first bit, really.
Our yearly performance reviews. How'd you do?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll find out.
I haven't found out mine either. But, let's hope they're not watching this show. Do the performance reviews, and then we begin this journey towards our next big patch, because this patch is built very differently than previous patches before. It's going to showcase a whole lot of what you saw, showcased at CitizenCon. We thought we'd do it differently. We're gonna be Babe Ruth. We're gonna step up the plate and we're gonna call our shot this quarter. And we're gonna talk about what's coming in Alpha 323 at the beginning of this road. And to do that, joining me today first is a friend of the show, somebody we haven't had on either of our shows in quite some time. You've got a new title since the last time we had it, so I'm going to have you do it because I didn't think to ask you what your title was before we started. Johnny Jasivius. Johnny, how you doing, man?
Hello. Do you want to guess what my title is?
It's Assistant Design Director.
Got it in one.
Did I get it?
Yeah, you did.
Congratulations on the promotion, man.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I need a bit of a water there. So, Assistant Design Director. What does Assistant Design Director do?
A lot of stuff. Essentially, I am cross-project on both Squadron 42 and Star Citizen itself. So I essentially run the design teams that we've got, which includes mission design, economy design, system design, technical design. So all of those teams report to me, and we all work together as one big team. We also work with a lot of the other teams, obviously people like Ian Leyland and his art team, a lot of people that we've had on here before. But essentially, I'm working with everyone in the company, more or less, to try and, hit the vision that we're trying to hit.
You were, folks who've been watching our Star Citizen programming for years now, remember you were part of the FPS systems design team when you went over to Squadron with that big migration.
This is the mad thing as well, like, a lot of these devs, they've been working on 2 games, well, technically 1, for the past 2 years. which is Squadron, which ain't the same as Star Citizen. I mean, they are similar, clearly, engine and all that, but one's a single player on rails, which is a lot easier to make than a fucking MMO. Just in case you don't know that, it just is. Now they're coming back over to the PU, which is great. You got like so many devs that have been doing other shit are now coming over to the PU. That means we're gonna get more shit in the PU for at least a good few years before they even think about making another Squadron. Just saying.
Gosh, two and a half, 3 years ago.
2 to 3, yeah.
Now, you went away to Squadron, hunkered down, worked on all these features in quiet solitude.
And this is a mad thing as well, if you think about it. Because Squadron's in polish mode or whatever, that's going to take like good 18 months, in my opinion, from when he announced it. So what was that, October? So we're still looking at the whole of 2024, or at least a couple of months into 2025. That probably won't get released until 2026, in my opinion. Why would you want to release it during GTA 6? That's a dumb idea. So I think they will hold off until 2026. I would do that personally. I would never release a game. Who the fuck's gonna play Star Citizen if everyone's got GTA 6? I'm just saying. Like, I know I'm buying GTA 6. I know everybody who's got a computer is gonna buy GTA 6. It's just a thing. And we'll all hammer that shit to death until we've finished it. And then we'll play something else. But everyone's gonna be playing GTA 6 in 2025. So, no point. 2026 would be the best time.
And now we're bringing all these things back, adding to the already existing
And there's no fucking way it's coming out this year. Not a chance.
team and work of the Star Citizen development team to make Alpha 323 and beyond.
Yep.
So we're going to jump right into it. So we're going to talk about the things that are targeted for Alpha 3.
That means they're coming, hopefully. Cross your fingers. We all know it's Star Citizen, so don't get your hopes up too high. But I'm going to say this as someone who does a little bit of game development in terms of like whatever. Yes, please give us these things. The only thing I know is time, really, in terms of like a production time, how long it maybe takes, I would say, to make something, especially like game assets and stuff. Like they're pretty annoying, but you can work out how long something would normally take depending on how many people are on it. So for the things that they're gonna show us now, I would say they're mostly penciled in. Definitely penciled in. Don't forget, these things are already done for Squadron. They're already in Squadron. The only problem is they need to convert them over to the PU. That's the only time it takes. So they're basically, if they can get it done in the time they've been allotted, these things are nailed in, basically.
323.
They wouldn't even be doing that ICS on them if they weren't actually mostly nailed in, like 99% sure. Maybe one or two might slip because of unforeseen circumstances, etc. But in terms of the basic functionalities that Squadron has, we're getting them at least. The other things probably in patches to come down the line.
Great. Now, I want to, before we go into the rest of the show, I want to talk about what that word targeted means. These are the things that the various programming and engineering teams, the art teams, the design teams, these are the features that they're all working towards and expected to have delivered for Alpha 323. We all know, because we've been doing this for a while, that sometimes a thing slips, it gets to a go, no-go, it doesn't quite make the go, so like that. So this is not an exhaustive list of everything that will come. There are also some surprises. There are also some things that we've designated surprises, things we want you.
Creatures. I reckon creatures is a surprise. I reckon one hint, and you'll see it in the show in a minute, it's definitely, I think, coming in. Probably only be on Microtech though, but I reckon I'll show you.
To discover on your own
spoiler,
when you
little Easter egg, shall we say?
log into PTU for that first time.
I reckon I know.
So we're not going to cover everything that we're intending to put into 323, but
Ship prices going up, by the way. just before I cut that off at the end because the economy shit. Ship prices are going up. I don't see that as a big deal, to be honest with you. I mean, some people might say, "Oh, I'm gonna grind and there's no life." Bro, just if you got as many ships as most people got, no one cares about money anyway. Like the other day when I was playing, someone was like, "Anybody want to give me 6 million?" I had 20 million or something. I had so much money I didn't even know what to do with it. So it's just I had 6 million. So I mean, people will help you in the verse if you need money, because it is only still out there. Like the most thing that people want is progression, more so with the factions. That's what we want, because that's what we care about. Like when people just get their let's call it their money wiped and whatever. Most people don't care anyway. Like, to be fair, when they wipe the database for progression, everyone starts crying, and rightly so, because progression's harder to get, because it takes longer. But what we need in progression, I think, is better rewards, because technically there's no rewards yet with any rep. It just goes, I mean, okay, bounty hunter or mercenary, I think it is. That one, you do get perks, but that's just better missions. I wouldn't call it a perk really, but you get the point. But we want armor. I think they should take off the best, or maybe like components. I think components should be crappy components. You can buy crappy components. I think you should be able to get rewards for the best components. I think they should do that. I think they should do that with weapons. Just give us the basic shit to buy in shops, and then just make better versions and give us them as rewards for reputation. I think that's the best way to go, because that means you have to earn your shit, because how many people would do that? Like better lasers for mining. I don't know what you do with cargo. Maybe a discount on your cargo. That's not really a perk. Maybe you should get skins for your cargo hauling, which would be fucking cool, to be fair. Like you could get like actual, like a skin for Kovalex maybe, or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you get like different things, but they should make it more interesting that way. Anyway, waffling. Let's get back to the show.
We're going to cover a pretty exhaustive list, and we're going to start with the stuff that we talked about yesterday in Inside Star Citizen. We came back on Inside Star Citizen yesterday. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. New EVA. So new wave EVA is coming along pretty well. When we first started capturing for ISC, we still had to be in squadron builds for a little bit, because it was just getting integrated into the Precision universe.
Yeah.
By the time we went live, it had begun its integration into the Star Citizen universe. How's EVA doing?
Apparently it's already in the patch. Apparently the patch is already in Evocati, which is nice. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what's in the patch, but apparently the patch is there in Evocati already, which is fucking dope.
Really good.
If true. Take that with a grain of salt.
Good. Obviously, there's still work to do. Obviously, a big proponent of that, as you mentioned, it was in Squadron Stream. Obviously, now we're dealing with things like networking, and this is going to be true for a lot of the features that we talk about today. Is that obviously there are unique challenges that come with putting things into the persistent universe in Star Citizen. So, yeah, it's looking really good.
And UI change as well, because a lot of stuff UI wise doesn't apply in Squadron 42. You don't take armor off people in Squadron 42. You just don't. But in the MMO, you do. So you gotta think how much shit do you need to do to draw there, get it like certified, etc.
Obviously, the guys yesterday, if you missed the ISC, they did a very, very good job of explaining the systems. But I'll kind of give a quick summary of that. Basically, how we felt previously about the old EVA system is that it wasn't really up to scratch.
It was crap. Everyone else was crap. Funny, but crap. It was crap.
The player experience and just the feel of the movement wasn't really as responsive and as basically easy to use as we essentially want. So As the game's evolving, we're finding that we're going into these environments where we're making tighter turns, we're going through wreckages, we're trying to do things like that. And if you think about the old EVA system, because you're flying around so upright, you kind of have a silhouette of movement that's kind of like my forearm here. But if you think about it now, because we're going into what we've kind of called the Iron Man pose internally, where you're kind of leaning forward, your arms are down by your side, your silhouette is more like this. So you're facing directly forwards. And what that means is, obviously, if you're going through tighter spaces, it's a lot easier. When you're rotating, you're no longer rotating like this, you're kind of more rotating like this, so you can fit through those gaps easier, and you're not bumping into things quite as often. And then on top of that, if you're winding your way through, you're almost mirroring a bit like a snake-like motion, and obviously you can kind of fit through all those tight gaps and turns and things like that too.
A lot of the comments that we saw on in YouTube and on Spectrum and on Reddit had to do with it seemed like the next logical step might be like little rockets on the boots, little rocket boots to help propel you, little jet packs, maybe even an animation to do the Christopher Reeve Superman thing. Are any of these being considered?
In the future, we want to put more emphasis on basically picking equipment that allows you to EVA better. So that might be in the form of, say, EVA jetpacks, not jetpacks, but EVA backpacks.
This would be good for wreckages in space as well. Like, I want derelict space stations in space. That'd be so fucking cool. I'd fly around them and shit. Derelict space stations would be so great. That's what they could have done with Port Olisar. But, whatever. It's gone now anyway. But they could use Port Olisar and bring it back for a laugh. And just make it a derelict version. Just, that'd be so cool, wouldn't it? Fly around the EVA. Make it like a little mini FPS map thing, but like flying around.
Packs and things like that might come with more
Well, they could use it, couldn't they? All they need to do is turn off all the lights and shit.
EVA fuel, because that's something we want
Open all the doors, make it look a bit dank inside. I mean, it takes some effort, like.
to do down the line. More oxygen and things like that for existing in spaces where there's no atmosphere for you to be able to breathe. And essentially, looking into that preparation phase that we've talked about before, where you're making considerations that, hey, I want to be like a EVA salvager. I'm going to equip myself with the things that are going to be able to get me there. But until we get other features in, like we showed yesterday, we showed the zero-G push-pull. That's not coming in 323. No. And some of these systems we're holding back because we wouldn't really want to implement EVA fuel without having systems like zero-G push-pull, because otherwise you might be sat.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the first implementation of these things is going to be good anyway. Just give us EVA. I don't care about flying around and all that. Well, I do, but just give us the EVA. I mean, to be fair, I don't EVA that much unless I'm doing box missions in space, which I haven't done for ages. I don't think there is box missions in space anymore. But let's say they were. Yeah, we need them. And especially, I think there's a derelict in space, actually. Is it a reclaimer? I don't know if that mission still exists or not. I haven't done them missions for ages, but that's a good one, right?
In the middle of space.
I'll tell you what mission is there. The private investigation one. That's oh my god, that's going to be so much better to do. That's fucking annoying. No jokes.
Yeah. Run out of fuel. You've got no options.
You also need to build places to refuel.
100%.
Stuff
yes.
like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you brought that up. We tried to be very deliberate in our storytelling. We said, this is coming in Alpha 323, and then further down the line, there's the traversal. There's the zero-G traversal where you're climbing on the hands. There's the fuel. We changed the work in progress graphic to say, this stuff is the 323. This stuff is not the 323.
Yeah.
The traversal one's harder because they have to link the player to the ships. They have to do that for all the ships, basically. That's why that's taken so long.
We changed the music.
Like, they have to do that for every surface. They have to surface map the ships, so you can stick to it. So that's annoying.
Some folks, who maybe...
It's doable, but it's annoying, because you have to think of every surface that they're going to have to paint, basically, with a brush. So dude can stick to it.
Get their news from other rewatchers or whatever missed that EVA is 323,
yep.
But the zero-G traversal, that crawling along the hands, and the fuel stuff is not 323. That is down the line.
Down the line, yeah.
Because of those reasons you just mentioned, we got to build these other systems out to accommodate them in a multiplayer environment.
Yes.
You can kind of gloss. You have other solutions in a single player game. Mission.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, a single player game is on rails. It's really easy. Well, not easy, clearly, but it's easier to make a single player game, basically, because you just tell the character what to do in terms of like rules. Multiplayer games, we all know we play Star Citizen. It's pretty easy to break it most of the time, depending on, and there's lots of people all trying to break it at the same time.
Ends and stuff like this, but yeah. So, and then of course networking. Networking is going to be the challenge for all of these.
Yep, 100%.
There isn't just a make multiplayer button
Yeah.
and transfer these features over. But the guys are working pretty. The guys are working pretty well. Like I said, at the I want to shout out the gameplay folks for for Inside Star Citizen. They do amazing stuff. You know, there's the alpha game that you play, and then there's the PTU. You know, that's got a certain level of bugginess. We're not. There's no reason to lie about it. There's the PTU that has a certain level of bugginess. Then there's.
I'm gonna be honest. The bugs in the game recently, my most common bugs that I run into, falling over randomly, just randomly falling over. Fuck knows why, just randomly falling over. I had a weird bug the other day where I got out my gun, me tractor beam, and started just literally just floating around the floor randomly, going weird speeds. That was strange. Nearly died. And then I wouldn't. Is it a bug glitch? I don't really know. The reclaimer, the elevator doesn't work, but everyone's known that for ages. So that's the only thing. That's because I use reclaimer clearly. And the side elevator doesn't work for some reason when you're trying to get out. Don't know why. But anyway, that's a reclaimer issue, though. But in terms of landing on the floor, they're the ones I've noticed the most, because that's what I've been doing the most. I've been doing salvage, so.
Evocati that has so much bugginess, we NDA it, and then there's where these guys work. So the effort that they put into getting those EVA shots when they were still working on networking and stuff was a truly Herculean effort. And I want to shout out Will, Dave, and Alex for their work on that right there. We also, let's move on to the personal interaction experience or player interaction system. I'm not going to use the acronym.
Are you sure?
And the default item actions.
Okay. Yeah.
Where did this come from? Because obviously we were working towards inner thought and all this other stuff. I know we talked a little bit about it at CitizenCon, but where in the development of Squadron 42 did that change?
Because it's fucking annoying. You don't want realism in a first-person shooter / whatever. Like, it sounds great to have like all this. That's what I'm saying, right? The realism thing in Star Citizen is the brainchild of a guy who wants a realism game, but then forgets to figure out that he's playing a fucking game, which is Chris Roberts. He somehow forgets. He's like, oh shit, yeah, I'm actually trying to enjoy the game, not be a real person. There's times and games to do that. Like, for real. Like, we've already got some annoying mechanics. Mining is annoying, for instance. You don't need a minigame to mine. You really don't. People who want minigames inside of a game are fucking weird people anyway. You're just weird. I'm telling you, you're weird. So, no. Look at salvage. Click a button. Salvage. Yes, please. Don't change that. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Just let me click a button and do my job and get out of there. Instead of me fucking fiddling around with all kinds of weird shit. Making like 10 different million ways to mine a rock. No, I just want to mine a rock. That's it. Give me different lasers, yes. That's understandable. But like, oh, fiddling with me mouse every 5 fucking... No. Just let me click it. Just get on with it. You know what I mean? I know people are like, oh yeah, but it's too easy. Yes, you're not paying me to have a real job, motherfucker. You know, come on. It's a fucking game. It's not supposed to be reality. It's supposed to have fun. It's not supposed to be tedious.
Did we realize we needed this other approach.
Press F.
Yeah, so
Yes.
obviously we had an interaction system that has evolved a couple of times, right? And it evolves through necessity.
How long does it take you to get through a fucking door in a spaceship on Star Citizen instead of just pressing fucking F? I mean, come on. Everyone's been there. You're fiddling next to the fucking door. Just show me the button to press the fucking open button. F. Yes, F. Thank you. Everybody knows F and E are the most commonly used interact buttons in the gaming industry. Just let us press one of them. Get it over and fucking done with.
And where the game's at and where we feel like it needs to go. So we used to just have the super plain interaction stuff. You remember the old use thing that was in the middle of the screen? And it used to just be, looking back on that now, it was quite
The
inappropriate.
fact that you have to press F to get up a menu and then use your mouse is too many things. Just let me press F. As a default, yes, open the fucking door. Yes.
Because you would hit use and hope that it was the correct action that, it did. Is it going to pick it up? Is it going to open?
That alone is quality of life 100%. Just that alone, happy man. As soon as he said that, I was like, yes, thank God. Woohoo. All that I don't need to fuck around with the mouse and just press F.
Is it going to close it? What's going to
10 out of 10. Quality of life improvement right there. And there's more of these, which is funny.
happen? So that obviously wasn't very clear. And as the game
As you can tell, I'm really happy about this patch that's coming.
evolved and the items and the way you interact with the items got more
Annoying.
kind of in depth, and you could do 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 different things with the same item. The necessity came to basically have a selection there. So that's basically where we ended up with the system that is currently in Star Citizen at the moment, where we've got
Imagine just picking up your water and it just drinks it. Right? You just pick it up instead of going store, blah. No, every time you just set it to default. Right? You buy it. And that's it. And you drink it. So you buy it, you drink it. Thank you.
the list. Now, obviously, playing with that for such a long time, we eventually got to a point where we were saying, we could definitely do better here, and it's something that we've wanted to do for quite a while. So that's where the player interaction experience comes in, where we are now condensing this down into one single-use action. But unlike the old...
And it's mad anyway. You know what? I don't even use the buy. When you go in and you're buying things on the side. I don't even do that no more. It takes too long because it's just annoying to do it. I just go to the little kiosk and just buy 10 bottles of water, or I'll just buy 10 of these. It's just easier than fucking around, picking one up, buy, store, buy, whatever. Fuck that shit. I mean, it's good if you're quick, I guess. You don't be asked going through the kiosk, but I just go to the kiosk now. I don't even be asked. I don't even pick them things up.
use action, you get a verb that
Because it's too annoying.
essentially tells you what it is you're going to do. And that also ties into default item action. So I could look at all of these items on your desk, right? All of them might be very different from each other.
Tell you what, that'd be handy for if you're rock mining. Because sometimes the laser beam on your little gun don't work. And you've got to pick up these stupid rocks when the server bugs out a little bit. You just press F on all your little rocks. Just pick them up, pick them up, pick them up. I think that's easier. A good backup system in case your laser beam don't work.
Your laptop might be like the old school use action, which would tell me that I'm probably going to hop down and start typing on the laptop. That falls
It's a lot better though. I'm so glad to get rid of that inner thought system. It's just poo. I mean, don't get rid of it. They're just hiding it, which is good. Yeah, it's just better.
folder there might be more like a pickup action or an inspect action if it's something that's like a data pad, if there's an iPad on the table or something like that. And that allows us to basically look at all of these different item types that we've got in data and say, this is what we think the default item action for this thing should be. But again, in ISC, something really cool that we showed off is the ability to customize that as well.
Yeah.
So we're not getting rid of all of the big list of actions that we previously had that were
I just don't need to see them unless I want to see them, which is good. That's what I'm saying. So, like, let's say I'm just buying water and I don't want to go to the kiosk and buy 10 bottles, right? Let's just say I'm running past and I just need, oh, fuck, I need a bottle dead quick. F, and it automatically buys it for me. Instead of me going on a fucking list, buy, store, whatever. So much easier.
quite difficult to navigate through.
And you can also do your secondary button. So, drink it. Buy drink. Straight away. Yeah.
especially in like situations like combat. Combat is obviously something that we
Yeah, no, that's a no-brainer. I don't even. Do you need to mention combat at this point? Like, that's a no-brainer. Give me ammo, thank you. Is it a go down a stupid list? No, fuck that.
we've seen a lot of in Squadron.
Hold on, I'm in the middle of the fight. Let me go through this long list of things here while I'm getting shot.
You can envision how that generally goes, and again, through the
go
game
well.
evolving comes the necessity to change it. Right?
I tell you what's another good thing that I've seen on the ICS thing as well, is you can literally just pick up a med pen and just stab yourself with it straight away. Like, yes, like I don't want to go through a fucking list of stab myself. Just stab myself quickly.
Right. So
Swap weapon.
I just want to look at a weapon on the floor and hit go.
Yeah,
I just want to pick
yeah.
it up and use it. Right.
Exactly.
But as I was saying, yeah, we're not getting rid of all of the other actions that you can do with the items. It's just that they are tucked away behind a wheel. For the people who want to customize this experience or use the other interactions on specific items, it's all there, and it's in a slightly cleaner format with the wheel, so you're not accidentally clicking something on a condensed list that we used to have.
Yeah, that's correct.
Some of the comments we saw again on YouTube and Spectrum and whatnot was that as you looked around,
Yeah, but that's good, because it's the same fucking thing, but it's more targeted. I mean, if you stood in front of a big giant selection of stuff, of course it's all going to say F, if you know what I mean. But it's going to focus on which one, obviously, because it's going to glow, so you know which is which. But that happens in every game, so it doesn't matter. Who cares? It's still better.
on everything. Is that going to happen every single time a player looks around at everything? Is that a toggleable thing?
So we've spent a lot of time tuning that, so it's picking out the important items, the large items. Basically, we've got a system.
You got to be standing right fucking next to it for it to say F anyway. You gotta go there. It's not going to just show you F on everything, like unless you stood there, a selection clearly.
And that essentially finds out where your focus is. So again, we have played with this a lot. If the F moving around on all these different items got annoying, it would annoy us too, because we played the game so much as well. So we're at a point now where we feel like the F selection is very, very clear and easy to use.
Good. I like this music to my ears.
And the selection itself isn't. We know, like if I was here right now and I had moved my focus to your laptop, but I was too far away to actually use the laptop, it would prioritize the closest thing that is still in the focus. It's actually a very smart system. So yeah, we don't get annoyed by it at all. And for the people,
Shout out to the coders, just so you know, the unloved heroes of game development, the people who write the code, just so you know,
who
fucking hate coding, but them people who do the coding in games, oh my days.
actually like to use it, the interaction system's still there. So you can still mouse over things and highlight them.
The amount of stuff they've made easy for idiots who can't code is amazing. If you know what a node is, if people know what nodes are, that's actually code made graphically for fucking idiots who can't code. Just remember that. Anytime you see the word node in anything, it's for stupid people. Because all that can be coded, by the way, in C++. They actually have scripts in like Unreal Engine and shit like that. Proper coders probably don't even use. They just don't. That's probably annoying. They just think, oh, that's too stupid. They know all that shit by code. And then you got the UI guys that like put it in chunks, visual chunks, like Visual Basics basically.
And interact with them. If you really
Which is quite funny.
need to do fine control, oh, I'm sifting through this guy's stuff that's on his armor, or I've got loads of clutter on my desk in my hab, I can still very fine, have a fine selection of what I want to interact with too.
And of course, like everything here, this will continue to iterate after 323.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think we're telling any tales out of school. 323 is not going to be the final version of any of these features. That this game continues to iterate and continues to evolve.
Not for Squadron, though. This is the weird thing. Not for Squadron. Squadron's done. Ish. I would say it's done yet, but in terms of the PU is going to look totally different. I can see Squadron 42 Chapter 2 staying the same while the PU actually evolves. I hope they don't go around changing shit in Squadron 42 Chapter 2 to match the PU. Don't do that, please. Just keep the mechanics the same as it was in the first game. Don't change it in the second game. Change the graphics maybe by that time. Don't change the mechanics though. I mean, they could make things better if it works, but don't go around changing the entire fucking system. That would be garbage.
You know, you got a balance for the Squadron 42 universe. Putting it into Persistent Universe, we might discover a PU location where it does get a little crazy, and you know, adjustments have to be made. That's part of development.
Yep.
So that's what we covered yesterday. So now let's go into formally announcing some other things that we're working towards.
So let's get one thing out the way. We're going to get a better interactive system. Plus 10 quality of life improvements. There's number 1.
Distribution centers.
Woohoo! Now, pay attention to this one because I think this is a sneaky. Just listen, and then maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't, but I think this is sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Distribution centers, which we've shown off. I think we first introduced the.
I couldn't. You know what? I said this would be in this patch only because, as someone who does game assets, and I know they've got a good team of 3D people over there who do assets and stuff, very capable people. I knew this was coming. Stoked is one word that I can use. But I knew this was coming. And I also have, I would say, a sneaky feeling about something that they're going to surprise us with. But I'm going to spoil the surprise and tell you what I think it is anyway.
The idea of them at CitizenCon 2 years ago.
Yeah, that means they're already done, people. In case you don't know, right? Pyro is only one system. They've got the other systems, shall we say, that are depending on safe immersion, basically. So the systems, there's 3 of them actually that I'm aware of that are already complete. Literally done, planets and all. There's 3 of them. I don't know if they're going to put them in order. They might give us 1 a year. I doubt that. I don't know, but I know the systems are done, right? Everybody knows that. Well, if you've been paying attention, you should know that. There's already systems that are done. The planets, one guy does the planets. There's one dude, but I think there was 3 of them. There's just 3 dudes that do the planets, and they've already done like a load of them. And we know there's 3 of them that have been done. Systems, not planets, systems. Pyro is a completely different kind of system though, because they put so much different kind of tech, and that's what they want to show off. Which is the Cloud, the Death Star, the sun flare thingy. Pyro is a technical demo of a different kind of system. The rest of them are going to be kind of slightly like Hairston in terms of empty, shall we say, with planets. But Pyro was a completely different thing. So Pyro was a showcase of tech, as well as there's another system. So be aware of that. But in terms of the other systems, they're done.
We revisited them at the CitizenCon last year. I think we did a Journey to 4.0 special somewhere in the middle. They blurred together. People, I'm sorry. I've done a lot of these shows. Distribution centers are now fully on track to come in Alpha 3.23.
Yeah. What the distributions remind you of, ladies and gentlemen? Think about it carefully. What? Huh? I'll let this sink in.
Yep.
Wait till the end.
What can you tell me about what players can expect?
Okay, so just as a bit of background, the distribution centers are these massive facilities. They truly are really big, that are down on the surface of planets and moons.
They're fucking huge. They're basically like little tiny cities.
And things like that. And they
Which is great.
kind of are what they sound like, right? It's a center of distribution.
I really hope though the cargo missions are good. in terms of like the lawful ones. I would just love people who do cargo running to enjoy not getting hassled, right? Care Bears, I love all my Care Bears because I'm a Care Bear too, with guns clearly. But I used, like, I've been playing Eve for fucking God knows how long. You do need safe spaces for people who don't want to do combat, right? Because they will make the economy go around, believe it or not, right? And they're the people who will do the back, the legwork in orgs. Because if orgs want to make shit in the future, this is the way this game's going to go. I'm going to say this straight now. Chris Roberts plays EVE Online. EVE Online is the best base game sim out there. Don't give a fuck what anyone says. It just is and has been for fucking ages, right? He likes playing that game, so do I. Why would I want to play Star System? Because I want it to be Eve in 3D. Not completely the same as Eve, clearly, because that's a mad game when it comes to spreadsheets and databases, like, literally. That's where the curve is. I'm moving around garbage in terms of what I prefer to do, which what I have to do in Eve. Star System can replicate, not copy, replicate in terms of, that's a good idea. Don't fix it if it's not broken. Let's say mining, right? Mining is a thing. So mining will be a thing, clearly, right? Bounty hunting is a thing, so bounty hunting will be. You just gotta change it slightly in that regard. So, in terms of Eve and Star Citizen, we can have really fun aspects of gameplay, which is way better than Eve. Way better than Eve, because we're third person. We're not bound to our ship like in Eve. We're not bound to it, which is fucking amazing. This is an Eve killer. If it manages to do what the servers do in Eve, and sometimes the servers die in Eve, by the way, just so you fucking know, they do. They can like die. But if it gets even remotely close, that's gonna be great. Like, I think when Star Citizen can have 500 people per universe or system, whatever, that's a lot of people. But in terms of seeing people all the time, that's very rare. 50 people in the game. Well, I don't even know what it is these days. 50, 100, I don't know. I never checked, to be fair. But it used to be 50. I think it might have bumped it up. But even that's very rare. It's very rare I see anybody in the game. Unless I'm landing on a planet. And then maybe see a ship or someone running around. In space, very rare I see anybody. Which is, I mean, it's good if you don't want to get shot. Clearly. But you get the point, right? But these distribution centers, they're going to be little hubs of activity. So you might see your friend there or whatever who's also a trucker, right? So it's a truck stop. You might just want to chill there and watch people landing and doing cargo shit, because some people like to relax and have a beer. So, you know, I love this idea. And also, if you're into the PvP, PvE, this is where I think it gets exciting, in my opinion.
Like, there are lots of landing pads.
Like, if you're a KB with a gun like me, then this gets funny.
There should be a big hub of activity, basically, and there are a lot of different areas of the distribution center that are different from each other. So you've got the exterior, typically where people will be landing their ship, unloading cargo, things like that. You've got the offices up top, which is generally more of a front for whatever business or corporation has ownership of this place. And then you've kind of got...
And you know what? This is another part. Reputation. Ooh, please give us rep. Please give us rep. I don't think we get it in 2023. Please give us rep.
More of the inner workings, which are kind of where you would typically expect to see cargo being ferried, if there's machinery that are produced.
I know all you org people out there. I know. Yes is the answer to your question. Fucking yes. Hurry up and give us org tools already.
Producing stuff down there if they're making...
I mean, that's a no-brainer anyway for everybody who plays the game. Org, please. Tools.
Something, then that would be where...
Didn't you say they made an app? Or maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway,
That's all took down. So what we're trying to provide for 323 is some variety between the different locations, so slightly different layouts between the different distribution centers, so they all feel a little bit different from each other. Have different factions at each of these places.
pay attention to this part. Different factions. Pay attention.
As well, which should give a very different feeling of what you're going to be doing there. So just as an example, and we talked about this recently, is
Everyone's sleeping on this, you know. Everyone's sleeping on this, and I was like, oh, this is sneaky. Sneaky.
you might have a law-abiding faction there, and typically you would be doing what you would expect.
Well, hold on. We're talking about Hairston here. Pay attention, people. Hairston, yeah. Every faction in Hairston is law-abiding. Right? Just saying.
To a law-abiding
Oh, this gets weird.
place where you would be trading, talking to people,
Yeah, why would you have what? Hold on a minute. Why would you suggest such a thing, sir?
all things like that, all above board. If you're a pirate, you can obviously come and attack and cause trouble.
Oh, if you're a pirate, you can obviously come and cause trouble. Really? So we're gonna have defend distro centers? Excuse me? What? Hello? Hello? We're gonna have defend distro? Yes.
But they might have
Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm getting to the point.
security systems made to deal with you. You might also have a hostile faction that's take over one of these things that a corporation maybe previously had, and they came in and took over, and that would be
Exactly the same as what mission do we have already, ladies and gentlemen? We have the missions where you need to go there and clear out the hostiles, right? Hey, someone's took over our station. We need you to go and clear them out. That, my friend, is the new raid system. Remember, they said we're going to have raids. There's the raid one. But the other one he mentioned before, mental.
a very combat focused area for you to go and play in. And then you might have something that's more of a mix. So
Yeah. Theatres of War, anybody? Hello. Theatres of War has not gone away. It's literally changed to distributor centres. I think they've gone, how can we give this how can we put it in the multiplayer without calling it Theatres of War? Distribution centres. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're getting a slight hybrid Theatres of War / mental.
you go in, the front is very professional and businesslike, but underneath, if you go a little bit deeper, you might find that they're up to no good.
Space
So-
wallet.
Yeah, so
This is going to be interesting to see how these things work. Please let me be right in my little assumption. And the only thing I think that gives that Theatres of War away thing is this.
ultimately for the content we want to provide, the distribution centers have a lot of possibility, and there's
Yep, they do.
no way that we're going to provide all of the content that we want to in one drop.
Yeah, I don't expect that. But I think if you think about it logically, what would be the best place to hold an event like Theatres of War? It's massive. It's got inside, outside. It's going to have tunnels all over the place. I mean, it's literally built for that thing. Like, literally. Why not?
But we definitely want you interacting there, doing cargo missions, and potentially some, basic like combat missions and things like that.
Basic, yes, at first. I mean, clearly. It's not going to do Theatres of War straight away. But in the future, that's very sneaky, don't you think? I'm just saying.
To interact with all of the different areas of the distribution center.
Because they're huge, they're not small. Have you seen the size of these fucking things? They're literally fucking mammoth. Basically underground bunkers. They're fucking huge.
We're going to provide.
They've got like elevators in and shit. It's fucking great.
But the future's very exciting for them.
Yep. And Theatres of War is looking like it's back in action some kind of weird way.
And these
So
are
big and diverse.
humongous. These are the biggest thing we've done short of a landing zone.
Listen, yes, exactly. These are fucking huge playgrounds. Think of what do we normally think of in terms of player interactions that we have at the moment, right? In terms of what events do we normally have, ladies and gentlemen, if you're into making money illegally? Exactly, right. You know what I'm talking about. Now, put that in a distribution center with lots of mad AI running about the place. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But they are massive. They are microcosms of the entire Star Citizen FPS experience. When I say FPS,
Yeah. And what's Theatres of War supposed to do? Give us the ability to clash. Right? Oh, I'm gonna love this. Oh, gonna love it. And here's another mad thing, right? We could have player-owned distribution centers in the future. Let that sink in. We could have player-owned distribution centers. Huh?
I mean, things not in a spaceship. There are missions. You'll get missions that will take you to these places. You'll go to these places to take to get missions that take you out.
That's mad. So they're cargo ones, clearly. They're going to be cargo missions. I wonder how many of them there is. That's the thing. How many is there? They're basically like little stations. They're basically stations on planets now. That's what we've got. Stations on planets. That's going to be good. I tell you who's going to love these. Caterpillar people. C2M2 drivers. They're going to love these missions. Because they're going to be like, there's your cargo, put it on there. Or whatever. It's going to be mad.
Missions, we'll be talking about these on ISC in just like 2 weeks, so I don't want to spoil
2 weeks, hey.
everything. But some of the missions are self-contained within the distribution center. They're
That's mad. So you go upstairs, go downstairs, kill somebody, go upstairs. Hey.
that big that you can
Yes.
do the entire loop within the distribution center.
Yep.
That's going to be mad. So you don't have to go anywhere. You can just stay in the fucking distribution center, just sleep and do your missions there.
Hi, Daisy.
Daisy is coming in 2.3, by the way. That's an Easter egg if I've ever seen one. She's coming in 2.3. Daisy is coming. Just so you know.
They really are an exciting new addition, and in 323 is not the end of them. Like I said, 323 is not the end of anything like this.
This is what makes me think Gears of War, for fuck's sake. Theatres of War. I met the guy who actually did the models of for Gears of War, the original one, that is, a long time ago. This is what I think is. I think this is a good, sneaky thing. Just watch Jared's reaction. Just watch it.
They will continue to evolve beyond that. It's one of those things. I don't think we're ready to share that just yet, but
I know what it's Faces of War, people. It is. It's gonna be weird to think about, but Faces of War is back. It is. It has to be. Think about it. Forget the satellites in space thing. I mean, that even could be a fucking thing, right? I mean, who knows? But what was on the floor in Theatres of War? A compound of some kind? Yes or no? Imagine, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine. Think about it. What do we already have as a test bed for Theatres of War? What do you think they're doing with Siege of Orison? That is testing to implement into these bunkers, distribution centers. That's what they're trying to figure out. How can we make this work and also put it in these big spaces? Because that's what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. But Theatres of War is Team A versus Team B. No. I think they've changed it to going, why not do it like we do Jump Town instead? Forget the Team A, Team B shit. Let's just have a free-for-all around this distribution center. Like that. Oh, yes, sir. Oh, yes.
But, there are some exciting plans for distribution centers.
Yeah. Told ya. I fucking, as soon as I was like, hang on a minute, what would I do with the distribution center? Oh, Theatres of War. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Very, yeah.
As soon as I seen them, actually, I was like, that would be a good fucking place to have a Theatres of War. Come to think about it. As soon as I seen them, I thought that. It's nice to know I was proven right. Nice to know I was proven right about a lot of shit, to be fair.
Beyond 323, that boy, when they let me tell you.
I already know it. Like, everyone's sleeping on this one thing. And I'm like, this is the biggest thing in Star Citizen Live, in my opinion, that they're not telling anybody. Well, he's just told everybody, if you paid attention. We're getting some kind of mad Theatres of War / Jumptown action at one of these mad facilities. Plus raids as well. Fuck yeah.
I'm gonna tell you.
2024 is so a mad year for. I would say, in terms of content drop, I would say this is as big as getting our first station or planets kind of thing. Like, it's one of them moments where Star Citizen goes, yeah, here's the next level of what we're doing. Like, everything in between Planet Tech and Station, we all know we couldn't do shit when we first played the game. In fact, we couldn't play. We just look around at our ships, which is when we got the Station, everyone was like, woo! And we had like 1 FPS, and it was mental, and laggy, and buggy, and crazy. Then we got Planet Tech, and everyone was just like, fuck yeah. I think this year is going to be like, fuck yeah. Only because all the things we've had to put up with for so long, which is so garbage, which are fundamental to why we hate the game. And it is. Star Map, we hate it. We've hated it since the beginning of time. The Star Map is so garbage. It's just terrible. The press F thing, no brainer. It's like they have to play single player games. You go, yeah, that's probably a fucking good idea. So that's good. So getting distribution centers is fucking. I think it's going to be a game changer. I think a lot more people are going to FPS. Thank God. Not PvE as much. Maybe, I don't know really. It depends how good they work out Siege of Origin and the bots. I mean, this all depends on server FPS as well. But let's just say they managed to get server FPS working slightly better than it is now with the whole server mesh and shit. It bodes well. And Theatres of War is so much on the table right now in terms of the future. It's mental. And I think that's good. For all the people who think Theatres of War's dead, it's very much not dead. In fact, I think it's going to be better than what Theatres of War was envisaged. Because if you mix Jumptown with these distribution centers, this is going to be fucking batshit crazy, in my opinion. So, yes, 2024. Will it come out in 2024? No idea. But it bodes well.
Really loud.
And even Jared knows it. Jared, he knows something's up. Like, just him saying, I've got something to tell you and I'm not going to tell you, means he's seen them test this shit. Because people forget that Gears of War was on a big, massive compound, right? Where you could just shoot at each other and shit. Well, what have we got now in game? Big fuck off massive compounds. I keep saying Gears of War, fuck's sake. Theatres of War, anybody? Yes, please. I just think it's good. That's not even to mention the raids that they're going to do. They said we're going to get raids eventually. I mean, all this in the future, clearly. But the fact that they're even putting these big, massive underground bases in 2023, which is in, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. That's fucking good. Especially for cargo people as well, because cargo people don't have fuck all to do, really. They have to buy their own cargo. They don't get missions, don't get no rep. unless you're doing delivery box missions and this shit. Like, I know that because I do them. This shit. It's like, what's my bonus for doing your stupid missions, Ling? Nothing. Okay, boring.
All right. From there, let's move on to some ship stuff. What did it say? Wow, the Star Citizen Live set has come such a long way, says Old Boy. Yeah, well, we try. We try.
I like the title thing, that's for sure.
Master modes. So we've been talking about master modes again. Master modes almost, actually, we've been talking about master modes for just as long as we've been talking about distribution centers. They first debuted 2 CitizenCons ago. In 323, they are slated to go in.
Yep.
Yeah, but this is the thing with master modes is what's going in? Are we gonna get? I hope this comes in for master modes. Get rid of spleens. I really, really hate them. Like, I know people are thinking about PvP. Okay, to be fair, I don't PvP, so I'll leave that to the people like Avenger 1 or whatever. Like, they can have their say on that. I don't really know. But when it comes to traveling around the verse, it's the most annoying thing ever when you have to go like that direction. It's like, why can't I just go to Crew L1? Can't I just go straight there? No, you have to go all the way there to Orison, and then you have to go to Crew L1. It's like, why? It's just fucking wasting my fucking fuel. Now, hopefully, with these new master modes, only for my purposes that I'm talking about, I get to go wherever I want. I just go in any direction, full tilt. I don't need my shields or my guns because I'm going in that direction anyway. That makes sense. It just does. So maybe they might change it where you can have 10% shields. I don't think it's going to work with cargo. And it depends how long it spools up. So we'll have to test that. But I'm just glad we're getting rid of splines or whatever the fucking called in the game. They're so stupid. They are really stupid. Now think about how fast you can go to a planet. In terms of like just going there. You don't have to go all the way there to go all the way there. You have to go in like weird zigzags and shit. I'm glad that's gone. I don't know what they're going to do with PvP though. No idea.
They're slated to go in, so yeah, so yay for everybody. The vehicle experience team, Rich Tyler's team, April and all of them, they're fast working on converting all of Star Citizen's existing spaceships to the master modes.
That's mad. How many ships have they got in the fucking game? Like 100 and something? Good luck. I don't know if they're going to be ready or not, but I hope that's in. I hope that gets in.
Finding the different archetypes, and again, we'll be talking about those in detail in ISE in
3 weeks,
4 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
So what have we got in 2 weeks then? After this one, I think we got the animation ones, the UI animation one after this, so that's next week. 4 weeks. I wonder what's the third week one then.
This is not. It's taken us a while to get to master modes.
Yep.
And
oh shit.
Because you keep changing your fucking mind. I remember the first time we changed it. Now I was first playing. I like the first system that they had. I won't lie. The first system that they had, it worked perfectly fine. And then they're like, oh, we're gonna change it, and then they changed that. I was like, I'm never flying in this game ever again. I stopped flying in the game when they changed it the first time. I was like, what's the point of me learning how to fly if you keep fucking changing it? When you decide how we're all gonna fly permanently, then I'll fly a ship and actually do something with it. Until then, I'm just gonna do boring ass missions. Fuck it. There's no point. There's no point in learning if you're just gonna change it. I don't see the point.
Everyone is.
And why do I need to fly in atmosphere and fly in space the same? Why don't you just change how you buy ships? If you want to fly in atmosphere, sell them ships that only fly in atmosphere. Stop trying to make ships that fly in atmosphere and space at the same fucking time. That don't work. It don't work. Don't put thrusters on a fucking aeroplane. That's not realistic whatsoever. Broken.
I think it's safe to say not everybody is completely on board with the idea.
Because it makes no sense. Why am I flying a fucking ship with ailerons in space? What? No.
I can read.
Just sell ships that are only meant to stay on planets. I mean, that would be a logical step, right? If you want to fly on planets, buy a plane or a space. It's not even a spaceship. It's a fucking plane. Or go play flight sim. That makes more sense.
Spectrum, I can
I
read
don't-
Reddit.
It just sounds like you're gonna piss off everybody at that point. You either fly in atmosphere or you don't. That's it.
Whatnot. There seem to be just as
They'll eventually get to that point. Trust me, because you won't. There's no way you're gonna satisfy Avenger 1, who wants a fucking simulator. He then also wants to fucking shoot people in space. That's not gonna happen.
many people who are for the idea as against.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this.
I mean, it's a big change, right? And people are always, initially going to.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you got a planet and space. If you're giving people a choice with one ship to do both, you're never ever gonna balance that game, ever. You're just not. So good luck. You rather have the nuclear weapon option, which I think they're gonna have to do, which is if you want to fly in atmosphere and dogfight in atmosphere, you can't go into space and expect your stupid ship to do anything. Like literally.
be resistant to
In
it.
fact, you can't even fly in space. That's how much your stupid ship is good at doing anything in space. You can't do it in space. If you want to fly on the ground, fine. Stay there.
And I think that's very, very natural because you've been playing a game for such a long time and it's such a big change that you're going to have to relearn a lot of the things.
I mean, it would make sense anyway, wouldn't it? Really? Like, if organizations are not allowed space stations, which apparently is the thing, we're not allowed to have player-owned space stations, which I think they'll get rid of, clearly. I mean, people go, well, you make it like Eve. Bro, Eve is the best fucking sim game out there when it comes to space. And there's no planets. But in Star Citizen, we got planets. So make a choice.
that you've already learned.
They're going to have to give us some restrictions on what's a planet-based air combat zone versus what it's like in space. You can't do both. But it makes no fucking sense. It's like being a wizard and a tank at the same time. Or some weird shit. Trying to put it in some kind of World of Warcraft analogy there.
Before. But ultimately, again, this was another thing that has come around from us playing the game, especially in like combat-focused scenarios in Squadron, and going through and going, like, hey, we feel like change needs to be made. So just a very, very, very high level of what master modes are. As essentially you have navigation and two SCM modes that you switch between, and they have very defined purposes with how you fly your ship. And
They should make it a bit more like Freelancer. It's an old game, but it was made by Chris Roberts, don't you know? So I think Freelancer, you still had your shields, clearly. But you couldn't fire your weapons. I think they should make it like that. Just, you can't fire your weapons. That's it. Give us our shields, though, because when we come out of fucking, flying around, navigation or whatever, I would like me shields. I can't use me weapons for like 10 seconds, maybe. Weapons, I should say. But I would like me shields. I don't fancy getting like nuked straight away. You know what I mean? So shields maybe would be nice. Even half my shields would be okay. But I definitely want shields.
what this has allowed us to do
Definitely
is in SCM, which is essentially your combat mode, is we've made it so the combat is able to be a little bit tighter because we've got a bit more control over the ship speeds there. That combat
Okay, I don't care about this point because it's going to change again. Maybe. Unless it's implemented and they're going to just say, this is how it works. And we're going to keep it this time. Like they did last time. Fine, I will fly a ship and enjoy it. I don't enjoy flying ships. Only because in the back of my mind, the little voice is going, they're going to change it again, don't you? They're going to change it. Why are you doing this? Why? That's what my brain. So I don't fly ships anymore. Not combat ones anyway. And I own combat ships. I just don't even bother to fly them. Even against NPCs, they're fucking jerky as fuck anyway. What's the point?
is a lot more personal, a lot tighter,
I'm not
and we
learning
felt that
anything.
it felt for a much more visceral and a lot more personal and experience with whoever you're fighting. And obviously that's translated to player versus player combat as well, which again, we've been testing internally quite a lot. And it's avoiding situations where you're able to essentially exploit the flight system to kind of constantly play chase and not really have a proper, one-on-one combat with someone, and you're constantly running away and not running away. So we felt that it was a positive change as we've been playing the game. So Yeah.
I think
I wonder if they're going to give us boost though. Are they going to give us boost? I forgot if they're going to give us boost. I think boost is going to be important if you're going to get away, kind of thing. They need to give us some kind of boost mechanic, because it's all good saying, "Oh yeah, we want to make it close," but running away is part of the game, right? You need to disengage. You can't just like engage and then your final outcome is death. You need to get away. So boost would be handy in some regards. So let's see how they implement that. I guess. Like I say, I played loads of first-person shooters in space. So let's see.
from my limited experience with it, it gets more exciting.
Oh my god! I just literally pressed the wrong one. Sorry, my bad. Where was I? Fuck.
Different areas of the distribution center that are different from each other.
No,
so
no.
you
Talking about these on ISC and just like there seem to be just
you typically in the past haven't really been able to see because you're
There you go.
hundreds of meters, if not kilometers, away from people.
Yeah, my 40k came up next. Warhammer 40k. My second love.
It seems a real shame
I don't play tabletop though. I just love the lore.
to not be able to see some of that stuff. You're basically just interacting with the UI. So this bringing you closer together is just a much better feeling experience in our opinion.
so master modes on track 323.
But okay, so far we've got quality of life improvements, which is 10 out of 10. Press F. All fucking day, yes. I don't know why they changed it to the inner thought system anyway. Whatever. Thankfully, they was making Squadron 42 and realised this is how you actually play a fucking game. F and E are the most used interactable buttons in every single game on planet Earth. Like, literally, why change it? So, quality of life, 10 out of 10. Distribution centers, sleeping giant right there. I just think they're the game changer for me in terms of missions and stuff, content. They are 100% fucking awesome. Flight modey things, I don't know about the downside. I don't know if it's a downside because I haven't played it, but in terms of PvP, we will see, because I don't know. In terms of no more spleens, whatever you want to call them, fuck yes. So I'm happy about that. And if it's in 2023, then I'll be happy. So let's see.
At the moment, yeah.
Mark it off.
And we want a lot of feedback, so
Yeah, you're definitely going to get it, especially from like Avenge 1 and people who do like the commentary on like PvP. Like that's their side of things. I don't really care, like I said, because they've changed it before. I gave up when they changed it the first time. I was like, what's the point?
and we will get it, I'm sure. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, you will.
Along
Why I'm leaving Star Citizen PvP shit, dude. You're the one talking about fucking ailerons in fucking space. Come on.
with master modes,
That's what I don't get. People who want to play a flight sim, who are flying a plane in space, are you fucking nuts?
some other ship related stuff.
You fly a spaceship, not a fucking airplane. Well, it should be more like Flight Simulator. What? What?
Precision targeting, precision targeting, and a big change to gimbals and weapons.
Well, this is an interesting point. This is I think this is going to evolve into, in my opinion anyway, targeting your systems. I think we're going to have a square, or it's going to highlight a certain part of a ship, and you're just going to be able to lock onto it, and then just fire at the engines. So how are you going to disable ships? You're just going to nuke them. I mean, we got soft death, but I think soft death is... They said they're going to get rid of it eventually. They said they're going to just do the whole component thing, where your ship will die. It will always be a ship, but the only thing that's going to kill your ship is the components. So I think that's a reasonable way to think that in the future, not now, but in the future, you're going to be able to target certain aspects of a ship and shoot them. And then, like, if I want to board your ship, and I want your ship attacked because I want to get your other components out the ship or whatever, I'm just going to go for your engines or some shit, right? So first you have to go for the shields, clearly, or whatever, and then you have to go for the engines, like you would in any normal game. You go for the shields first, like even Starfield has that shit, right? Go for the shields first, and then stop the engines, and then board them. They're gonna do that in fucking this game eventually. So yeah, I think that's the future. I don't know if they're gonna do it now, but
Yes.
What can you tell us about this?
So precision targeting at its very core is very similar to what you would do in a first-person shooter. You take time to aim, and it kind of almost helps you be more accurate.
Yeah, but we're talking about ships. This is the point. This is a ship mechanic, not a first-person shooter mechanic, right? So, if they're gonna do precision shooting, that are not gonna give us the ability to target the subsystems, or they are. I hope they will. It would make more sense. But maybe they're gonna be like, well, you have to look for it. I was like, oh, I don't know. So, let's see. I don't know. I would prefer targeting subsystems. In every space game that I've ever played, well, most normal ones, you can target the subsystems. So let's see. I mean, it's in Starfield, for fuck's sake, and that game's not that great, to be fair.
So what you can expect in the
And I've played like 400 hours of that shit.
ships is a immediate zoom. So I know we've got a system where you can scroll in and zoom, and it's maybe a little bit awkward to
takes too
try and
long.
use. This is a more toggling.
A little bit awkward? No, it is awkward. This game is mostly awkward. If you've played it as long as most of us have, the game is awkward. It just is. Like most fundamental things you would think would work in the game don't, or is fiddly. Hence, press F. Or, oh, well, you can zoom in if you scroll. I got no time to scroll, bro. I'm trying to get shot. I'm trying to shoot some dude. I got no time for scrolling. So if it's instant, good. It saves time.
Toggle out of zoom. So again, you're going to be closer anyway through master modes coming in. This is more a case of you're closer already, and now you're zooming in on your target. You can see much more of the ship. So if
That's what I'm saying. So you're gonna give us the at least, even if you don't give us like literally target the engines with a little square with like, I don't want your bullets to automatically shoot the fucking engines though. I don't want that. Like auto aim. No. Don't want that. So maybe a better system would be just a target like the engine, and the engine glows orange, or so you know what you kind of should be aiming at, right? I don't want auto assist on it though, because that would be fucking weird. That would be definitely less simmy. Even though I don't think this game's a sim, to be honest with you, but you get the point.
you're in a combat scenario where you're
Actually, I know they always call it a simulation, but yeah.
flying around and having to maneuver a lot and you're dealing with multiple targets, you might not necessarily want to use it too much. But if I'm in a situation where you're flying a Cutlass and I'm trying to take one of your engines off, I can toggle into precision targeting mode and go straight for your engines if I wanted to just take out your engines, get on board and deal with it.
You know what I'm saying? But you're going to highlight it. Hopefully they highlight them. I mean, I think that would be a good idea. And they can do it. So, I don't know. Because some of the ships, they're really hard. Like, when you're flying around at a gazillion miles per second or whatever, pretty hard to focus on just one little aspect of a ship. Unless they make it glow. Because we all know flying in space is pretty dark. Unless the sun's beaming in your fucking eyes, and then you can't see fuck all anyway.
With you that way. So it's, again, leans more into that closer feeling experience. Also helps you with aiming at a target rather than trying to pixel hunt a little bit with your screen. And obviously makes it more accessible than having to scroll in and out with the mouse
You mean pip pixel hunt?
wheel. It's just one click to toggle in and out. And then with the gimbal change, the big change there is all ships are basically now going to have gimbals.
That's mad. All ships have got gimbals. Does that mean we get auto assist? Yes. So everyone's got auto assist a little bit. To be fair, I can see why. But I can see why PvPers would be like, yeah, that's shit, innit? I guess. Because, real PvPers kind of pride themselves on not using gimbals. But listen to what he says next, which is weirder. Which is, yeah, and all your guns are going to be the same size as before. So, your size 4 that didn't gimbal, not size 4, size 3, I think it's size 3. I don't think we're going to get size 4 gimbalers. I don't think. Maybe, who knows. But anyway, let's say size 3. Your size 3 is now gimbal. Damn. They're gonna have to beef up these ships. Like, all ships are gonna have to get a pass. All the ammo is gonna have to do less damage, one or two. Because if size 3s to start gimbling, shit's gonna get funny. Especially if you got a ship like a Corsair. Like, what the actual fuck?
Come on, just look right at that camera.
That shit's already... A Corsair is already overpowered. It just is. For the amount of guns that's on that thing. I know it turns like a piece of shit. But if you got gimbaled weapons on it, and you use your thrust, oh dear me, you're going to get destroyed pretty quickly.
Don't drop it. Look right at that camera right there.
No, yeah, tell
Say that
everybody.
again.
All ships are going to have gimbals.
Wow.
Or all weapons are going to have gimbals. Weapon slots on ships are going to have gimbals. So that's not entirely true. I'm going to contradict myself already.
Yeah, not all ships clearly like the 80s. Yeah, no. They're just... that's not really a ship with a gun. That's a gun with wings attached to it. I'm so sad they nerfed that. I had both of them and just melted them. As soon as they nerfed them, I'm like, I don't want them anymore. I don't want to fly them no more. People are like, oh, these are overpowered. Yes, but it was fun. Nerf them down the line. Don't nerf them now. I only had it for like 2 weeks and they nerfed them. I was like, fuck, I'm not fucking using this thing. It's dog shit. And even when they buffed it, it's still dog shit. I'm like, no, I'm not fucking using these things.
There are a few
couple
exceptions.
of exceptions.
Size 7 gun and can't fucking hit anything with it. Come on.
You know, you look at the Idris, it's got a massive railgun on it. It's not going to be rotating around everywhere. It's
The nose
fixed
gun on the
all.
Vanguard.
Yeah, so there are a few that are going to be stuck as they are, but what we kind of...
So that's unfair though, isn't it? Like, you should put aim assist on it at least then. Don't gimbal it, but give it aim assist. That's unfair. Actually, I know some good Inferno and Ares palettes. They're like, nah, it's actually quite good now. But I'm just like, yeah, you nerf the shit out of it.
I'd thought about for a while that we weren't too keen on is the swap down and swap out for the different...
That's always been shite. I'll agree on that. The whole, you got a size 3 and you can fit a size 2, but you have to gimbal it. It's like, oh, what, can't I just gimbal me size 3? No, penalty. Just stop making your guns so stupidly overpowered. Be helpful. Like, that's what they should have done. And that's what they're doing now. So I'm thinking is the weapon passes are all going to get another weapon pass because, yeah.
different weapons.
You can't, like, if you play the game right now and you said, oh, I've got a size 3 gimbal, someone's going to go, yeah, I'm not fighting a fucking Corsair then. No way.
And exchanging the gimbal out for that, basically, because new players come in and it's not immediately understandable what's going on there.
It depends how much the aim assist is on the gimbal. I mean, all this is mad, and they're going to give us it in 2023. Probably going to get a pass again. Probably going to change it. So I'm saying the combat thing's always weird. It just always is. Yeah.
And we didn't really feel like it was adding as much value.
Yeah.
And just to touch on the turrets as well, turrets are now going to have gimbaled weapons too, which is really good, because obviously previously you were limited to the rotation speed of the turret. It gives you a little bit more look ahead and a little bit more of a unified, pleasant experience that you can expect from the ships that you can then expect from the turrets as well.
So I think we glossed over the gimbal change. And again, we have an entire ISC dedicated to this. So we're covering a lot of topics that you're then going to see deep dives of for the next.
Good, because that means we get to see videos. And this was just yapping about it. Distribution centers is my thing. I want to see what the fuck I'm up to with that shit, because that's going to be funny.
Next 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks and whatnot. But with the gimbals, the size restriction is also going away with them. So
As in, you're no longer trading.
Have to do
down.
one size, yeah.
Exactly.
One down.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're also going to change the damage of all the guns then. They can't seriously think that that's okay. They're going to have to change something. Like, what? Okay.
So some ships will get bigger weapons for this, and of course there are the exceptions.
Oh, some ships are going to get bigger weapons. Did you hear that? So that's interesting. Maybe they're going to change the loadouts of ships then? Like, instead of size 3, you get size 2s? Maybe? See? Speculation.
Basically, I'm not going to give you an exhaustive list of the exceptions, but if you look at a ship and there's clearly a very impossibly fixed weapon on it, think Inferno.
Yeah. Definitely not changing that. That's not even, like I said before, that's not even a ship. That's a gun with wings. It's just a fucking joke. Which is a shame, because they were such great ships until you nerfed them. I loved flying both of them. Especially the Burr one. I mean, come on. Anything that just goes Burr in a game is always good.
think Vanguard with the nose, think Idris with the railgun. Those will not be gimbaled. So we're not going through and remaking the ships to do that. So there are a very small amount of exceptions. I think
My next ship I'm actually gonna buy with real money is the TIE Fighter. I'm sorry, I was gonna buy the small one until I found out it was just a snub fighter. And I was like, that put me off. I was like, no. I mean, it's great, a small TIE Fighter, but no, the little MSI Fury thing, they look great. Come on. If you play the game, you know they look great. I wouldn't buy one though, because they're fucking useless. Other than racing, they look great when they're racing though. Pity you couldn't put like Go Faster stripes on it and shit. That's what they need as skins, Go Faster stripes on them little MSI Fury things. I think I might buy a racing one, in game that is, not actually real money. Because they're only like $500,000 or some weird little, not that expensive. But I want the big giant TIE Fighter looking thing. If that's real, which it looks like it's real, don't know when it's going to come out. But that thing, you just scale it up. I don't know. But if that thing can fly around, it's got like cargo space in it. That's my daily driver, just because it looks dope. I'll just give you a TIE Fighter. The Scorpius, awesome looking ship. Only problem with the Scorpius is it's not very practical. You can't really do anything. Like, let's take the Vanguard. The Vanguard is actually a ship that's practical if you want to do box missions. Not that you ever would, but you can. You know what they need as a Vanguard? They need a bounty hunting Vanguard variant, in my opinion. Vanguard's one of the best ships in the entire game. It moves like a bit of a slouch, but it's a bit thick. And people sleep on it because we haven't got blades in the game yet. But if you can put a blade in that thing for your turrets, oh my days, that's gonna be equal. And I think, personally myself, that would wreck a Scorpius, because it's just got way more armor. It's got a better profile on it. Scorpius looks good, but if you shoot a wing, you're fucked, and the wings always get hit.
it's like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it will be an exception rather than a common thing.
But you can clearly look at the ship and go, yeah, I don't understand how that could be gimbaled. Congratulations, that's probably one of the ones that aren't being gimbaled.
Yeah.
All right, and again, we will cover all that with Yogi and Rich Towler and their teams in just a few weeks. So stay tuned for more details and examples and all that good stuff.
That'll probably come busy boys.
I don't know if I want to go to a big one or a small one. I'm trying to weave the story here because we got a lot more stuff coming. Let's go back to FPS stuff a little bit.
Okay.
Dynamic crosshair, scopes, reloading, FPS weapon stuff. Go. What you got?
Oh man, how long have we got?
Going back to your old stomping grounds here.
Yeah, I mean, so please stop me if I go too technical or go too deep on this, because obviously this is kind of my jam. So, God, where do we start? So let's start with reloading. So the changes or improvements to reloading, as we've been calling it, have again come through the necessity of change through playing combat in Squadron a lot, very focused.
See, this is mad, isn't it? What they should have done is made the single player game first. That's it. Just tell everybody we made a mistake. We're gonna make a single player game, and then made Star Citizen, because it sounds like they've literally had to play the fucking game that they made second in order to give us any sense of how Star Citizen actually should work. I'm just saying, as like someone who's actually like done fucking gaming shit. Even though, to be fair, I'm confined to game assets. But anybody who knows anything about like the industry in terms of how it works, like really, you've only just fucking realised that pressing F in a fucking game is like bog standard, so it should be implemented like in the fucking PU. Fuck's sake.
Combat areas where we're able to really hammer out some of the basic combat mechanics, where we were in situations that were getting frustrating, and we were essentially playing the game, as most people probably know, engage in the FPS combat. If you reload, we save your ammo pool to your magazine, and that goes back on your suit.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense in terms of flowing gameplay. Like Chris Roberts has this fucking mad obsession with realism. Sounds great. One problem, we're playing a fucking computer game. Literally. It's a game. It's a representation of life, not a one-to-one version. That's why I get fucking annoyed with these fucking retards who say, oh, I want it to be realistic. No, I don't. It's a game. If I wanted a fucking job, you better pay me for it then, don't you think? I'm playing a game. I don't want to go in a fucking computer game and spend 10 hours doing boring, laborious shit. I just don't. I already have that. It's called real life. Hello.
And you might then end up in a situation where if you want to put more magazines on your suit is now completely full, and you can't put more on unless you swap them out, and it's a very sticky, tedious process. Yeah, so essentially we're trying to remove steps there, rather than get rid of the realism that you have with basically having magazines that contain the ammunition. We want to keep that, and down the line we may still want to lean into doing the magazine stripping through a proper animated system. What we really wanted to lean in to at the moment is just an ability to be able...
Why would you want to do the very thing that you said doesn't work? Why? Maybe down the line we'll do the exact same shit we just decided is fucking pointless. Because it slows down the gameplay. Just do what works. Stop trying to reinvent the fucking wheel. Just give us the ability to press F when we're trying to fucking reload our fucking ammo or shit, right? I don't run around in Counter-Strike figuring out if I've got fucking goddamn ammo or whatever. I can see how much ammo I've got, and if I need a new weapon, I'll pick one up. It's literally that simple. Sometimes I pick up a gun and it's got fucking no ammo in it. Bad luck.
To condense the amount of ammunition down that you've
That's just the way it works.
got. So that's what we call ammo repooling. And that is an interaction either on the weapon or in your inventory that lets you essentially go, this weapon, I would like to condense all of the magazines for that. Your character will play an animation while it's happening.
And how realistic is that? Oh, we're just kind of going to condense the ammo. That's not realistic. Is it? No. Just give us the ability to shoot shit very quickly. If we want to pick up ammo, we can pick up ammo. We got a backpack, throw it in there. Who cares?
It's quite a basic one. And then it will take a varying amount of time depending on how much ammunition you're shifting. So if I'm doing LMG mags, that will take longer than, say, if I'm doing pistol magazines that might have 10 bullets in or so.
So, and of course, again, we don't want to cover every aspect. We want to save some stuff for...
Just make it simple, dude. It's a fucking shooter. Don't want to fuck around in a game for 10 minutes figuring out what ammo stack I've got. Give me ammo, let me use it. It's that simple. If I've got a backpack on or some kind of fucking cubby hole, store it in there. We're talking about unloading and loading your gun. Just let me reload. I'll surely have enough ammo. It don't need more longer animations to fucking reload me gun.
For Torsten's team, when
I literally just don't.
he's on in a few weeks,
That's what I'm saying. You add complexity for no fucking reason to the game. It's a game. It's supposed to be fun. I don't want it to be real life. You already give me the ability to drink water and eat food. I don't want to take a shit next. I really fucking don't.
This is a weird show. This is not a show that we've done before. We're essentially...
You're full. You need a shit. No, delete the game. This is what I'm about to do.
Spoiling the entire season of Inside Star Citizen this quarter, if you haven't figured that out. So this is basically everything that you can expect to see on Thursdays.
You've ate too much food. You need to take a shit. No, you've gone too far. I don't want to take a shit in a game. Any game. I don't want to take a shit. I just don't. Don't you like? I can understand the aesthetics of having a toilet. Maybe a shower. For whatever reason. Charisma. I mean, why? But whatever.
For the next 9-10 weeks as we go.
Imagine charisma in Star System.
Dynamic crosshair.
Okay, dynamic crosshair. So, again, this came through necessity from playing combat so much. It was...
Necessity? Have these never played, like, basic games like Counter-Strike? Even Counter-Strike has a dynamic fucking crosshair, for fuck's sake. I mean, come on. It's like they're saying, well, we play the first-person shooter. We should probably have this in the PU. Well, no, the shit there, Sherlock. Didn't you think that like he's the guy who made the fucking the FPS system in the first place? Don't you think that was a good idea in the PU? No? Yes? No? I don't know.
It's essentially a situation where
What?
you don't always have time to aim. Sometimes you want to just shoot your gun in a desperate situation, and it's really nice.
What makes him think that's any different in the PU? Hello? How many fucking years have we had fucking FPS in Star Citizen PU? You know what I mean? And now they're like, oh, because we made a single player game, now we think we should put it in the PU. Okay, buddy.
To have an indicator there of where it is you're going to shoot. So we came up with the dynamic crosshair. It essentially gives you an idea of what sort of spread you can expect from your weapon, and we essentially simulate spread through a spread cone on our guns, just because we don't want the gun shaking all over the place to kind of generate it. So we do add some spread on there, and essentially the more you fire, obviously it changes, the more unstable it is. The dynamic crosshair basically tells you where you're going to be shooting. Now, what we've done, and this kind of leans into some down the line armor gameplay that we're going to be leaning into, where we want to make the armor sets and things feel different and give them a unique purpose, is
Armor sets. Love this idea though. Armor sets, yes.
this dynamic crosshair is meant as a combat feature that you get on combat helmets.
Now, have they already got that in Squadron, or are they trying to implement it differently in the PU? That's going to be an interesting thing.
So if I'm, say an engineer or something like that, I don't necessarily need a dynamic crosshair for my gun because I'm not really going out and doing combat. You might get other benefits from wearing engineering gear or medical gear or whatever, but this is something that we're obviously leaning into long term, and this is one of the first features that we're bringing out for combat suits.
And we'll save scopes and recoil and stuff for Torsten and their teams like this. I do want to.
So maybe they've already got it in Squadron, and that's. I mean, that would be a good thing, obviously. But you're always shooting a Squadron anyway. But other dynamic things would be good. Especially like mining. Mining is annoying. First of all, you can't scan when you're on foot when you're mining, which is stupid. So that would be helpful.
Clear something up. I can see the chat right now. And even if I couldn't see the chat, I'd know what was happening. He said 8 to 9 weeks, and somebody's doing math from February 2nd. Is it February 2nd? Yeah. February 2nd to try to figure out when Alpha 323 is. Don't.
Yeah, because I just told everybody. Apparently it's already in a card anyway.
Don't do that to yourself. I'm just pulling numbers out of my how many episodes that I have planned ahead and stuff like that. That's not any indication of when the patch is going to come out.
March. End of March.
Don't do that.
Hopefully March.
Just enjoy life. Be in the moment. Enjoy all of this that we're talking about, that we're shooting for Alpha 323, and don't spoil the experience for yourself by putting dates on things and trying to reverse information that doesn't exist. I don't know what...
Well, if you know what a quarter is, you can technically work out. Hopefully it should be the end of March, but it could be the end of April as well.
Voice that was. All right.
It's 4 months in a year, by the way. Every quarter, 4 months. They try and aim for 3 somehow, but it's normally 4. Every quarter. 4, 8, 12. The same. I mean, you can do 3, 6, 9, 12. But whatever. You get the point. There should be 4. Should be 3 months. And that means March.
It's possible I've
You
been
can go April, but I mean, whatever.
doing this
Well, you can't do April. If they do a March, they do an X release, X patch.
too long, JJ.
Maybe. And it's only the start of the year.
All right. You mentioned the combat helmets, and so sorry. Let's talk about the visor and lens stuff. In ISE yesterday, players saw a little bit of the 3D mini map and the corner and some visor stuff. 323.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so basically visor and hood is going to be a big restyle. So I think the big task at the moment is restyling it for the persistent universe. yeah, just a few features essentially. We have like the existing hint system that we've got in game. That's all being tidied away into the new notification system that we've got with high and low priority notifications, where we've got some really nice visuals for those. We've obviously got the newly reworked, I'm going to call it like the combat stack. That's what I quite like calling it.
Yeah.
No one else calls it that, but basically it shows you where all your ammo is, gives you all your feedback for your weapons, changing items, things like that. It shows you what's in your hands.
Let's make it a thing. Let's all agree to call it the combat stack for JJ, who's doing such a good job here today.
Then on the left-hand side, we've obviously got all the widgets for things like, you know, your health, environment, all that sort of stuff. We've got the compass that's going in too, which is, yeah, we've got the compass. It's in the video. You can already see it.
Wait, an actual compass?
Well,
Like I can tell what direction I'm going?
yes.
Like no more which direction am I going? I can go. That's north.
Yeah. Well, not north in space, but you know, you got a bearing. Maybe
I'll take it.
North on a planet.
I'll take it.
Yeah. You happy? Yeah. Okay. Good.
Fucking star map. How long have we waited for the star map, people? Forever.
And then obviously one of the biggest ones is the mini map, and the mini map is amazing. It really is, and it links into what we're doing, which we can talk about in a little bit.
Now the thing is the mini map going to be on the planets automatic? I'm pretty sure it could be, but I think what it means is the interiors of like Microtech and shit like that. I hope so. I don't want to land on a planet I see nothing.
With the star map on the
And one thing they didn't mention is waypoints, which I'm pretty depressed about.
Mobiglast 2, which is basically the area map, I'll make very clear now, we're not doing all locations.
Yes, I was just about to hit that.
With the mini map, because obviously there is a lot of space and areas to mark up.
Yes, yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about that. The minimap does not just exist in a vacuum.
Yep.
Every single location in the Persistent universe has to be marked up in order to feed that information into the minimap. I'll go ahead and say, because I talked to John Crew about this just yesterday, the ship team is working diligently to get as many of the ships as possible marked up for 323.
Same with landing
you can
zones.
at least explore your ships with the mini maps and stuff, and then maybe a couple locations
With landing zones. But will it work on planets when you're on foot?
here and there.
Yep.
And then that will just continue. Patch after patch after patch will just continue to mark up more and more locations until eventually all of the PU reaches parity.
Yep, so it's going to be really easy to find your way around everywhere once it's done. So you can basically just get a view of where you are, where you want to go, set a route, you know, all of that good stuff.
Okay.
Set a route. Can we do it on planets? That's so annoying. I don't know whether we're going to get waypoints. Maybe we'll find out in the future show.
Should we lay it on them? I mean, we're right there. We're right there with the mini map.
I don't even know where you're going to go with this.
You don't know where we're going to go from the
Oh,
mini
yeah,
map?
no, okay, now you've said that.
Should we lay it up?
Sure.
Say it.
Star map.
Star map.
New star map. Yeah, so big quality of life improvement from where we're at right now. And again, you know,
If it has waypoints. Let's think how we're going to fly in the future then, in the game. We're going to be able to fly around without splines. With a minimap. Are we going to get waypoints?
we're changing it because it's the current star map is difficult to use. It's not clear.
It's crap.
You know, you don't get enough feedback.
It's broken.
Like some things are broken. You know.
Did you hear Jenna's laugh? Some things are broken. Really? Never.
He said some things are broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking garbage. The entire thing is broken. It's not some things. Some things work, you mean? Not some things are broken. It's all fucking broken.
Go ahead.
But yeah, we've spent a lot of time on styling it, making it very clear, making it very easy to use, done a lot of testing ourselves of just playing around with it. We've added some new features to it too. So essentially,
Waymaps, waypoints. Is it waypoints?
a estimated travel time if you set a route somewhere.
It takes ages. I can literally make a cup of coffee. If I fly from Hastings to Crusader, I make a cup of coffee, have a smoke, and I still haven't reached my destination.
Search functionality, which is all fairly
That's actually good though. You can search for shit, because then it saves time clicking on the planets. You can just type Hastings, and you go to Hastings. There you go. Happy days.
basic to start with. We'll obviously come back more on that later, but or down the line. But essentially, you know, if I want to go to Hurston, I type in Hurston. It takes me to Hurston on the map, and I click set route, and then I go. Like it's just you.
I mean, it did that before. To be fair, you could just click on Hastings, but you couldn't find Hastings on the map because it doesn't exist unless you zoom in. But yeah, that's good.
You know,
I don't understand. Why can it be so easy?
Yeah, why haven't you done this before? Because this system wasn't ready. I think that's mad. I think they've just gone, just leave the minimap, it's garbage. It's just shit. Just don't touch it until we put in like the Pyro features, Pyro gates and stuff. Because now, if you look at Hastings, it's now complete, I would say. In terms of not content, but in terms of objects, it has all the planets that are required. It has basically every station, and it has all the waypoints to other systems. That's basically done. You can add the other content easily, so it's done basically now, which is nice because that means the minimap should fucking work on every system.
I don't understand.
yeah, it's been a long time coming, and we're obviously very, very excited about it.
It's been a long time coming.
I have so many traumas though, JJ. What am I going to do with all my traumas?
You have to find new ones. That's what you have to do.
Create new ones? No, I'm sure the game will fucking create them for us.
Create more.
That's true.
Yeah.
And then from the star map, let's just go way to the other end of.
And don't forget, I'm not going to be doing the economy bit. No point. I watched it. The only thing I learned was ships are going to get more expensive. That's it. And it's not really news. There's nothing about like materials or selling cargo. Nothing. It's just basically, who are you? What you do? Oh, ships are going to get expensive. Okay.
Of technical stuff.
Thanks.
With a little thing showcased by Sean Tracy and Andre at CitizenCon, the character customizer.
Yeah, the character customizer is super cool. So along with all the new scans of characters and all the new basically look people that you're going to be able to customize from, yeah, you've got basically two ways of customizing a character now, which is very exciting. You've essentially got something.
Am I the only one who doesn't care about this? Because every time there's a wipe or a patch, my character disappears anyway. I just use the default dude. That's it. I think everybody just uses the default dude because what's the point? It goes away anyway. They need to add that to the whole persistent database thing. Or at least decouple it. So at least I don't have to fucking make a dude every time there's a new patch. That's annoying.
That allows you to do
I keep all my shit most of the time, but I lose my face every time.
a DNA blend, which is that's what we call it anyway. So you're basically taking your head on one side, which is what you currently have. There's basically a bank of heads on the other side that you can flick through and look. You know, I like these particular features, and what you can do is you can select one, go, I like this person's nose. I can then go on my slider 0 to 100% and go, you know, I want to go all the way to having their nose, and I want to go all the way to having mine, or I want to go somewhere in between. So it blends the two shapes together. And you can do that for the entire head. You can do it for ears, nose, eyes, brow, lips, all that sort of stuff. The second way of doing it, which is a very cool one, is, I don't know what we ended up calling it, but essentially you are grabbing anchor points on the face. So let's say I grabbed my brow, and I was looking at it from the side, and I drag my mouse to the right-hand side and try to pull it out. What it does is it looks through our bank of heads that we've got in the back end, and essentially tries to translate what is there to what you're doing with the mouse. So if I did it on my nose and pulled it that way, it would try and find a nose with a shape that's like that. So you're basically grabbing points on the face, moving the mouse around, and essentially seeing it go through all of these different iterations so it feels like you're sculpting, but you're not, if that makes sense. So you come out the other side being able to make some really, really unique characters, and we've had a lot of fun in tests trying to make, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Dave Bautista.
You always try.
It's a fun testing session. You can get something that looks, pretty damn close. But on top of that, we've got new hair, facial hair, makeup. The hair is very, very cool, by the way. You've now got hair dye. So if I really wanted to, let's say, change my hair to white, I can change it to white, have it fade into blue. I can select how quickly it fades in, if it's like a sharp transition, if it's near the root or near the tip. There's a ton of really cool customization there. And obviously the UI has had a big overhaul as part of that too.
Not an Alien says, I hope we can make freaks.
Depends, yeah.
Just leave it.
Yeah, okay.
Just let him sit with that. Let everybody sit knowing that that's what he said.
You can make
not an alien.
Unique characters.
Cargo. Cargo's getting its next big kind of push there. What can you tell us that's involved there? Freight elevators, obviously.
Yeah, we've got the freight elevators. We've got the basically the instance hangars. So you're going to be able to go to your own hangar. You're going to have your freight elevator. You're going to be able to spawn your ship.
How? Okay, I don't get this. Where? Where? Is this on every? Is this when I just click hangar 2? Will that still be my hangar? Will it kick me out? I don't even know what's going on.
The core part of the experience is that you essentially go to your freight elevator, will have a kiosk with a nice new UI on it. You can then interact with that to essentially go, what's in my storage? So the regular inventory area storage.
So is every hangar that I go in my hangar? Do you know what I mean, guys? Like, when I land at a station, when I leave the station, will it automatically put me in my hangar? Right.
Just going away.
Not the one I just landed in. Because how am I going to take off? Let's say I land in a Pisces, in a little hangar. How am I going to take off in a reclaimer? Do you know what I mean? Has anybody figured that out yet? Because I haven't.
So it's much more physically based.
Yeah.
In your hangar storage, it's very much more personal. You then go, I want all of this stuff, click, 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 click. You fill up or see the freight elevator filling up on the UI. You then click a button and lo and behold, all your stuff's just come out the ground.
Where though? Where? I need to, where?
And then it's up to you to load it into your ship.
Yeah, but where am I taking off then? Where are the freight elevator hangar things? Where are they? Are they on planets only?
So as part of that, we'll also have things like hover trolleys. We've obviously got the tractor beam that's usable in there
Yeah, but where are they though?
too. So you can then wheel it over, start loading up your ship, and it's a much more representative feel of what the cargo experience is going to be like long term.
Yeah, I can tell you how long it takes to unload a fucking reclaimer. It's about 2 hours. I am not kidding you. Go and land on a planet in a reclaimer. Unload it by yourself. It takes about 2 hours. No kidding. Up and down the elevator. Yeah. 2 hours.
It's a lot in 323.
It's a lot of unloading and loading to be done in the future. If you got a big ship and you solo it, good luck.
Oh yeah.
We're not
Oh, yeah.
done. We're not done. There's a. I want to start wrapping this because I want to get to our next talking point here. We're not sharing everything that's in 323. There are still some things we want to keep secret.
Tell us where these fucking hangers are, because I want to know.
There's still some. Obviously, I also don't want to spoil an entire season of ISC. We've already covered so much and stuff like this. But you can also expect things like the Blockade Runner mission. If you remember, we covered that on ISC sometime last year, maybe in Q3 sometime. The Blockade Runner experience that we talked about then, that's targeted for 323. A big update to Xenothreat that we're not going to share just yet.
Xenothreat's one of my favorite, actually, fly missions. I like Xenothreat, actually. I do. Bit confusing. At first, you're like, what am I doing? But, yeah. Once you get the idea of it, it's actually quite fun. And loads of people help each other as well, which is kind of nice.
We're going to let players...
Unless you're like, you want to be a bad guy.
That's one of those things that we're going to let players experience for yourself. Xenothreat and a sort of a pre-Xenothreat thing.
That's interesting. So it's going to come before 2.3, this mad thing.
It's got a name, but I'm not going to share the name today. I want to...
Incursion. I would call it Incursion, maybe.
See if people can suss it out. But Xenothreat's getting much, much bigger, much broader, and much more interesting, personally.
Oh. Well, before it was, wasn't it, Refuel the Idris, or whatever. I think it was Fueling the Ship. I haven't played it for that long.
From my perspective, that'll start to roll out before 323, and then into 323.
So when's this patch coming then? I wonder if that's for the free flight week, so that's more 14th February. Something like that.
If all things go
well
as planned. The looting stuff, the looting stuff.
Oh, the looting's fantastic.
The new looting stuff that we saw at CitizenCon is going in. There's a new shopping app. We haven't showed that because the guys on Team Kian's team actually are working on it right now.
A new shopping app? What? What's that?
We'll be showing that in ISC hopefully in about 5-6 weeks. When we go back to Team Kian for even more stuff that they're working on, they got a whole lot of stuff in 323 on that team.
That's the UI team then, innit? Yeah, they have got a lot of shit to do. But frankly, the UI team is... I know the map thing would take forever. But the UI thing... We got most of it done. They just need to add other bits and bobs, really.
And then some economy stuff.
Yeah, economy is garbage. Like, I'm not even playing that. There's no point.
I've been doing this a long time.
Yep. Where's Tony Z? Anybody? Is he dead?
And we haven't we haven't talked a whole lot about economy stuff, and it's rolling MMOs and stuff like that. So for the economy stuff, we're actually going to take a quick break, and we're going to bring in 2 members of our economy team who have never...
I'll show you the people. Andre and I forgot the other guy's name. I'll show you the people. I'm not going to show the conversation. It's literally pointless. The only thing they said is ship price is going to go up. That's it. 10 million for a Connie, 70 million for 890 jump, and 2 million for an arrow, and 500,000 for a Pisces blue, I think. A Pisces with a medical bed, basically. So yeah, but I'll show you the developers, because I'm nice that way. Alright, let's go.
Andre, Nick, how you doing?
Hello. Hello.
Andre, Nick, hello. There you go. They're the guys that do the economy team. Andre is in the purpley maroony top, and Nick is the guy in the blue top. They are part of the economy team. Where's Tony Z? Nobody knows. Is he still alive? Fuck knows. Does he even still work for CIG? Who knows? But yeah, that's my thoughts. Positive, I would say. Quality of life is definitely good. Getting a star map, fucking about time. Get master modes, we'll see. Press F for the win. Yes. So that's 3 good-ish things, apart from, I'm not sure about master modes. No spleens is good, but we'll have to see what the rest of it is. So they're good. I think my biggest, I wouldn't say biggest, my bestest thing, I would say, is for content, and we all like the content, don't we? Is for sure distribution centers. I mean, that's the best thing for me out of this entire thing. I know the other things we all want, but come on, we've wanted them for fucking ages. They're not new, really. They should have already been in the game. What I wanted, though, is new content, missions, stuff to do, and distribution centers are basically stuff to do. So, hooray. Now we'll see what missions we get on them, in them. I'm hopeful that we'll get Thesis of War action down the road. I'm guessing we will. The prime real estate for that shit. So, we'll see. Yeah. I will see you next Friday for the other one. The new Star Citizen Live. And I will go over my thoughts. It's probably going to be the same shit. But we'll see anyway. Till then, I will see you in the verse. And for whoever Duke Beardy was, he got 6 million bucks from me the other day. Because to be honest, I am pretty rich. So I give him 6 million quid. He was a quite happy man. So until then, bye.